Hello and welcome to TTV News broadcasting on TayNinh newspaper and general television with some latest events in TayNinh province and across the country. Ladies and gentlemen, on the afternoon of November 25th, Mr. Nguyễn Hồng Thanh, member of the Provincial Standing Committee, Vice Chairman of the Provincial Peace Committee, and Head of the Task Force Number 2, chair a working session with the party committees and people's committees of Tân Ninh, Ninh Thuận, Khánh Hòa Wards, and U Minh Châu, Cầu Khởi, Thạnh Hóa, Tân Châu, and Bến Cầu, Camils to address difficulties and obstacles in the operation of the two-level local government model.
At the meeting, the localities clearly state obstacles regarding administrative procedures, public investment, site clearance funds, and unallocated transportation project countermeasure, which have created the challenges in implementation. TayNinh Wards proposed transferring the urban order team to the Department of Economic Infrastructure to align with its function, requested the prompt allocation of the public investment capital for livelihood projects, and also suggested it was saving unused public land and office buildings for use in schools, medical stations, and attracting supermarket investment. Previously, the localities has submitted documents containing 68 recommendations related to internal affairs, land, digital transformation, staffing, public administration, and policy supporting residents. Representatives of relevant departments and agencies acknowledged, researched, and responded to the opinions and recommendations of the locality. In his concluding remarks, Mr. Nguyễn Hồng Thanh requested that localities develop plans for the job positions and titles according to the streamlined staffing, transferring surplus personnel to understaffed positions and report to the Department of Affairs. And he also instructed a review and effective management of public assets and land to promote the tax collection reforms, strengthen coordination between the tax authorities and localities, provide technical guidance, and develop commune-level policies. Regarding infrastructure, transportation, and site clearance, localities should clearly define the decentralization and promptly resolve complaints. The public administration center should be reviewed and staffed appropriately to handle doses effectively. And national target programs will continue to be implemented and adjusted to suit the local realities.
The audience in preparation for the year-end regular session of the Provincial Peace Council. Today, the Provincial Deputies continue holding meetings with voters across localities. Many practical issues raised by residents were acknowledged by the deputies. At the voter meeting in Goya Wards, Standing Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee and Chairman of the Provincial Peace Council Nguyễn Mạnh Hùng, together with Delegation Number 5 of the Provincial Peace Council, noted voters' concerns mainly related to infrastructure and transportation. Among these, voters from some Đồng hamlets proposed regular inspections of street lighting system along major routes, especially National Highway 22B, and requested solutions to address traffic accidents hotspots. Voters also recommended strengthening the management and trimming of roadside trees to prevent interference with power lines and to ensure public safety and urban aesthetics. Ladies and gentlemen, continuing the 10th session agenda, on November 25th, the National Assembly held a discussion in groups on the investment policy for the National Target Program on modernization and quality improvement of education and training for 2026-2035, and the investment policy for the National Target Program on healthcare, population, and development for 2026-2035.
The Deputy Nguyễn Mạnh Tiến suggested that the drafting document reviewed the National Target Program on modernization and quality improvement of education and training, particularly regarding the scale of funding. We believe that if the educational program is not carefully reviewed, there is a high likelihood that the National Assembly's approval of both programs at the current budget scale will require postponing one of them, as the budget cannot stimulously support both mega programs. Positive point in providing a feedback on investment policy for the National Target Program on healthcare, population, and development for the 2026 to 2035 period, Delegate Phan Thị Mỹ Dung suggested that specific timelines be established for each subphase linked to the annual budget allocation. After the resolution is passed, the government-specific plans or programs or the assignment to the Ministry of Health and other ministries must have clear milestones for each phase, so that we know when objectives will be achieved. Based on that, the budget can be allocated, and some budget items are allocated for the entire period, while others are distributed annually. In addition, the National Assembly delegates from 10 provinces also participated in providing the feedback on investment policy for the National Target Program on modernizing and improving the quality of education and training for the period of 2026 to 2035. Vocational education institutions are implementing financial autonomy, but there are still no support policies for vocational education, especially for those facing difficulties, now that counterpart funding is available for these programs. I suggest reviewing and forecasting whether these institutions have the capacity to implement and meet the program's objectives. The most critical issue is human resources for these two programs, and firstly, to improve education and training quality, we need a high-quality teaching and management workforce, which is currently insufficient. The quality also needs to be enhanced, requiring breakthrough and decisive solutions, and the measures outlined in the program are still insufficient. Regarding the healthcare, he noted that commune health stations currently lack and are weak in human resources. However, the program does not clearly specify mechanisms or policies to attract doctors to work at the commune level. Similarly, mechanisms for harmoniously developing public and socialized health systems, especially elderly care models and nursing facilities, also needs clarification.
Dear audience, from 2021 to 2025, the Fund for the Poor at various levels in TayNinhTV province has played an important role in social welfare. According to statistics, over the past 4 years, the fund has supported the construction of more than 3,000 new houses, helping many poor households secure stable housing.
Especially the former Longma province before the merger built for 1,266 solidarity houses, and these houses were handed over on schedule and ensured quality, addressing the urgent housing needs of the residents in difficult circumstances. In TayNinhTV province, 1,772 houses were also supported during the same period. Beyond material support, the housing program also promotes the spirit of solidarity. Strengthening national unity and having stable housing enables the poor household to focus on labor and production, gradually improve their income and work towards escaping poverty. And the results achieved from 2021 to 2025 demonstrate the efforts of the local authorities, the Violent Front and community collaboration in supporting the poor, while also laying the foundation for continuing social welfare programs in the future.
To improve agricultural product quality and move toward the goal of developing a green and sustainable agricultural sector, TayNinhTV province is actively implementing key solutions to swiftly ensure quality and food safety in accordance with regulations. Alongside encouraging the development of organic agriculture, TayNinhTV has been strongly promoting the application of Vietgap standards in production. Functional agencies are actively supporting farmers and businesses in completing procedures, organizing production, processing, and trading agricultural, forestry, and aquatic varieties. To date, the province has supported Vietgap certification for an impressive 3,450 hectares. The expansion of Vietgap certified farmland not only helps TayNinhTV agricultural products access demanding markets more easily, but also contributes to building a clean, sustainable agricultural brand, bringing high economic efficiency and protecting public health.
And on the morning of November 24th, the Department of Industry and Trade, in coordination with the Center for Industrial Promotion and Trade Promotion, held the opening ceremony of an OCOB product sales point in hamlet of the TayNinhTV commune. The OCOB introduction and sale point is operated by Nguyễn Vân Handicraft Wood, an interior decoration company limited. The total cost of the project is more than 158 million Vietnam dong, of which 2025 National Target Program on New Rural Development provides 131 million Vietnam dong, with the remaining amount contributed by the enterprise. At the opening ceremony, Nguyễn Vân Company signed a memorandum of understanding with the businesses and cooperatives to collaborate on the distribution of CV products to consumers.
Dear audience, as the whole country eagerly looks toward the 14th National Congress of the Communist Party, many religious leaders, officials and followers in the Ninh province are closely studying the draft documents submitted to the Congress and placing their trust and expectations in the country's new development journey. The draft documents submitted to the 14th National Congress reaffirm the important role of religions in accompanying the nation and positively contributing to the cause of building and defending the country. We hope that all ethnic groups and religions will be aware of their responsibilities to preserve national cultural identity, remain vigilant, and avoid distorted propaganda or narratives that could divide national unity. After reviewing the Congress draft documents, I see that the orientations for building and developing Vietnamese human culture are thorough and comprehensive. I am particularly interested in the growth of a strong, culturally rich Vietnam. I also hope for additional mechanisms to support cultural, traditional, and artistic activities locally, enabling religious communities to participate and enrich the cultural and spiritual life of the people. With solidarity and responsibility, I believe that implementing the orientations in the draft documents will help contribute Vietnamese people to develop comprehensively, morally, and patriotically. Continuing to promote the positive values of religions in social life not only strengthens national unity, but also lays a firm foundation for Vietnam to advance confidently in the nation's development era, moving steadily toward socialism. Continue the program with domestic news. Ladies and gentlemen, in the urgent response and recovery efforts following the floods in the central region, various forces and relevant sectors are working tirelessly every day to help restore stability to people's life as soon as possible. The Ministry of Industry and Trade has issued directives requesting provincial and city departments of industry and trade to promptly assess deeply flooded areas and locations at risk of flood floods or landslide in order to develop appropriate plans for stockpiling and supplying goods. Accordingly, the Ministry of subordinate units have proactively implemented multiple solutions to ensure the supply of essential goods, contribute to market stabilization, and support people in affected areas. The Ministry also requests local departments of industry and trade to remain ready to secure supplies of food, drinking water, and essential necessities for residents, especially those in isolated or cut-off communities. The consistent directive is to prevent any shortage of goods for the people. The Domestic Market Management and Development Department has also issued documents requesting local departments of industry and trade to assess damages at markets, supermarkets, and fuel stations, and to coordinate efforts to restore operations as soon as possible, as well as to urge supermarket systems, distribution businesses, and fuel traders to increase reserves of goods, beverage, and essential goods. In addition, units are instructed to work with market surveillance forces and specialized agencies to strengthen inspections and strictly handle acts of hoarding, speculation, or unreasonable price increases.
And the Customs Department has requested that customs units at the border gates and outside border gates urgently implement the support measures to ensure the same-day clearance for relief shipments, guaranteeing that aid goods are transported promptly to heavily affected areas. And the units are also required to immediately establish specialized support teams to quickly address any rising difficulties or obstacles, ensuring that relief efforts for affected communities are not delayed.
Flooding has caused damage worth 100 billion Vietnam dong to the educational sector and affected around 2,000 schools. The Ministry of Education and Training has instructed the local departments of education and training in the affected areas to urgently review damages to school facilities and teaching equipment and propose that provincial business committees allocate funds for repairs. To ensure that students have adequate textbooks based on the reported needs from provinces and cities, the Ministry will distribute all textbooks free of charge to students in flood-stricken areas. The ministry has also directed the Vietnam Education Policing House and school equipment companies to work with localities to inventory the number of damaged textbooks in order to provide timely support. Currently, 10 million textbook copies have been prepared for students in flood-affected areas. Support for Đắk Lắk province has been basically completed, and distribution is continuing in Gia Lai, Khánh Hòa, Quảng Ngãi, and Lâm Đồng. The audience, the harsh conditions and severe losses that people in the central region suffer after the recent historic flood have taught hundreds of people across the country awakened the tradition of the good leaves protect the torn ones. Responding to that spirit, many localities in TayNinhTV have joined hands to mobilize resources and promptly send practical gifts to the flood-affected areas. This compassionate acts not only help the people of the central region overcome immediate hardships, but also affirm the strength of solidarity, mutual support, and community spirit of our nation values that always shine through in every challenge and difficulty. This is the puzzling sense of floating relief goes for flood-stricken communities in the central region by the floating relief delegation of the Cao Đài religion in TayNinhTV. Its relief package is quickly loaded onto trucks with the help of shortening delivery time so that support reaches flood victims as soon as possible. This trip am bringing over 3,000 relief packages, 2,000 for Phú Yên, 1,000 for Bình Định, and 300 for Quảng Trị. This represents the heartfelt support of the people of TayNinhTV. When they hear about it, many people in TayNinhTV contributed a great deal. They care deeply about the central region. I will personally deliver these gifts to those in it to help them get through this difficult time. It's so right, the flooding is terrible. Tomorrow, the central region will be waiting for the south to come and help. Sharing the same spirit of support, residents of Châu Thành Camille brought relief packages and essential goods to the local donation points. It gives carries encouragement and heartfelt compassion from the people here to those in the flood-affected areas. There has never been a historic flood causing so much loss and suffering like this. People lost houses, property, even loved ones. We mobilize everyone to contribute so that the people there can soon overcome this hardship. The compassionate relief trucks are ready to set off. Donations continue to pour into collection points. All efforts come together like a flowing stream of love, expressing the heartfelt support of the people of TayNinhTV for the central region. It is a unified effort filled with goodwill, with the hope that those in flood-stricken areas can soon stabilize their life and rebuild what the floodwaters have taken away. And now that's all for today TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.